and you become conscious. Of course, people that really lost, people that they are heroes, they sacrifice themselves. The same as if you look at the history of the faith, all the religions, all the past, all the new thoughts and beliefs, many people sacrifice until the world realized that message. So I believe it doesn't matter what we believe or what we do. The message of trust that we need, our world need to be built new on foundation of authenticity.
Wow.
Our government, our system, our people, individually start from individual and reach to the top. We have to develop, create a new world that is built on authenticity.
So for us to get there, it would require me to get to know myself, wouldn't it?
That is very true. So here it comes that if I want to be who I am, I have to know really who I am. Who is this me that I want to be? Who is this me that I want to show? And who is this me that is worthwhile, that you put yourself in danger of losing things, but protect that being me? So that is the subject of die yourself. And that comes from the philosophy of the past, that all the philosopher of the past advice is founded by die yourself. The Aristotle, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Aristotle?
Aristotle, yes. He says that knowing thyself is the beginning of the wisdom. Mm-hmm. Knowledge starts from there. So now how we want to talk about to know yourself, who we are, who I am. Am I a body that has a name, has a gender, has a race, family, some education, some certain needs, feelings, weaknesses, dreams? Is this self that we are talking about? Is that in that moment that I have to lose all my life or my everything for that is because of protecting, to tell them this is me, this is my appearance? Of course, this appearance that we are talking about, this talent, this needs, these dreams is subject to change. Here we are reaching the subject of swimming in the river. We are changing. The moment that a child is born to the moment that dies goes to drastic change. Needs change, dreams change, capacities or talents change. So if this is authenticity that we are talking about, then authenticity is built on a shaky ground.
Yes, I concur with you. And it brings me back an image that I was given of a river. And I forget where I heard this. Someone told me along the way. He says, okay, when we were young, we were like a small stream or a little brook. And we had the properties of a little stream or a brook. And it went fast when you were young. And it shifted courses often, just like a small spring. And it was superficial. It was shallow. And it made a lot of noise. And then as we became older, our course became straighter. We moved at a slower pace. We carved through a lot of trial and error, a deeper path, a deeper canal. And then we became wise. However, we were always wise enough to have the small brooks merge with us, and us merging out to the small brooks.
That's very true.
Isn't that beautiful?
So, I understand the point that you point to that. That is true. We change and the river change. The essence of things will not change, human being. A child from the beginning to the end is a human being with certain specification as a human being. It changes, it becomes larger, bigger, smaller, sick. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that part that is called human being that human spirit, that essence of that individual is always the same. So
It always seems to, yeah, because when you look back at yourself, you're still the same person that you were as a child, and that's kind of the cool thing, and it's kind of when I don't belong in this old body.
That's true. That means these things that is changing, this specification that we talk about, if we talk about the size, talent, dreams, these are manifestation of that core, that essence.
Mm-hmm. Manifestation of the essence.
Manifestation of essence. Like we have light, a manifestation of light is warmth, or fire give warmth. So we see that the temperature change, ups and down goes, but the essence of the fire is not changing. Mm-hmm. The light is light. Essence of light is light. In different windows, different glass, reflection is different. So this manifestation is changing. Intensity of this light change, but the essence of light is always light. This essence, what is this essence? There are so many range of point of view. Some people believe that we are animal with power of speech. At the other end, some believes that we are image of God. We are created as image of God. And in between, so many different views. So who we are, this is one of those subjects that we can never, essence of human being, what it is, we cannot ever enter to that because it's going to be very long discussion. But I can tell you that since we are who we believe we are, I believe that me and human race and that I belong to, I believe in nobility of man.
The nobility of man.
Nobility of man. Essence of human being is noble. Is not just animal.
Tell me more about that. What is the nobility of humankind?
Dictionary gives lots of explanation and meaning for nobility. The one that I like from that is the words, it says for nobility is being sublime, exalted, high-minded, dignified, honorable, lofty. This is the meaning of being noble, nobility.
I'm going to ask you a question. There's so many people who are neglected, abandoned, abused in this life, and who have suffered much. And this definition of noble, especially the lofty part, seems to be so out of reach. So what would you say to that?
Imagine human being as a vast ocean. Our soul, our essence. Imagine a big vast ocean. As much as deep we go dive inside this ocean, we can bring different kind of stone and gems up out of this ocean. If we swim superficially, we just may bring only sands. If we dive more deep inside our souls, we can bring pearls and more precious gems.
Ooh.
So it is important that we have the vision, that we have a depth in our souls.
So what we find precious is lying underneath. And it seems to me that the biggest thing that stands in the way is fear, because us as human beings tend to fear the unknown. So I see it as a rediscovery process, or an uncovering, like an archaeological dig. Now that's curious, because there's a piece of ourselves that already seems to understand our worth of what is down deep in this ocean. So it's a process of recovery, is recognizing that we already understand that we are worth something, that we haven't claimed it as of yet. And I was thinking how powerful it is to invite people to this place. I started this radio station, Authenticity Radio, with the idea that I had the hospitality of a fat and jolly innkeeper. And I selected that because it really felt right. That's what we do, invite people to come down, sit around a table by the fire, and being invited to partake in a real life-giving conversation. So no matter how silly this may seem, but the same invitation, inviting someone to begin the process of self-discovery, discovery of their self-worth. You have permission. No, more than that. You have a responsibility to go and to put on that wetsuit and start to dive, especially if you have a hydrophobia. So what do you think of that?
Yes, the way you say it, I remind me of a very Persian philosopher. I'm translating what he says, but he says, my sorrow is not that I am trapped in this limited pond, but my sorrow is living with fishes that they don't have dream of ocean.
Oh.
When we are looking at the subject of authenticity in this round of talk that we talked up to this point, for that I can use an example of a seed.
Yes.
If we look at the seed of a tree, this seed from the beginning to the end that changed to a beautiful tree go through a process and changes every moment to different shape and size and quality. And at any moment, if we ask from this seed who you are, or it can tell us that, okay, I am this size, this way, this color, this taste, so many leaves, or so many flowers. And at the same time, this is all authentic answer, very correct. But that is not the real tree. This seed, at the beginning can claim that I am a tree. That is not manifest yet. I am a tree that I'm going to bring so many delicious fruits. Instead of a seed, we can imagine a human being. A baby is born, even before being born, as an egg. If you look at that and we say, what is this creation? Can be number of cells or certain size, certain needs, certain foods, certain qualification. But any state of growth that this child goes can claim that I am a noble, lofty creation. And that means that I have all the qualification of honesty, truthfulness, love, caring. These are me. These are who I have to be. I might not develop them all. I might not discover them all. I might not manifest them all, but I am that creation. I don't know how it sounds to you.
Well, that sounds good to me. So we are taking a look at the human being, the human individual, of what comprises an authentic person in two ways. One is the birth, the creation itself, that has given you all the capacity to live up to, with all of the individual gifts that you have, that's not shared by one other individual, that you have uniquely. Okay? So that dignity in itself, and we might identify this as the noble gift. The second one, which you have talked about specifications, could we refer to that as experiential, the experiences that we have gained over time?
Our own experience is what we have discovered. As I use the example of ocean, my discovery take me to certain level. It depends on how I expect and what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. My experience might show me, because especially when we look around us, we see so many qualities among people that are not noble at all. We see injustice, we see unkindness, we see war. And people, by looking at these experiences, many people believe that human being is not noble, actually war is part of human nature. We are animal, we have needs, and we have to act on that. If I look at my own experience, it might guide me there.
I see where you're going, Pari. So if we take a look at our identity as an authentic person, just by utilizing our experience alone, we may be selling ourselves short.
That's true. So our own experience, if we are guided